had to slow it down. So I'm in Claude, but I had to say that I need to create the environment and I need to do a couple of things first. So let's go ahead and create that. Navigate to the root. All right. Go ahead and hang on, cancel that. I'm not in the root yet. Now I'm going to create the virtual environment. Again, I'm using Python. Notice the new environment. Let's go ahead and say yes. I'm not going to do that. Control Z. Oh. So let me see if it was created. Now I have an issue in this one. I'm going to continue to run through this. So virtual environment bat. I should see an echo. Open up. Okay, here is my activate bat, deactivate bat. I do have an activate BAT in here, echo environment, scripts, activate bat, but in my root folder, I'm going to go ahead and create a new Python file called activate underscore echo.bat. And I'm going to copy this in, control save, and then let me try this, copy, paste, activate bat. Okay, now I'm in the echo environment. Okay, so let me go ahead and start installing. Oh, hello. How are y'all? Hi, Amber. Hi, Everett. I appreciate you joining me as I am on this journey. I am making a suite of softwares that should be worth more than $50 million. So that is what you are watching me do as my 1-year-old is sleeping upstairs and my 4-year-old is still awake and calling me. But I've run up there so many times. Pip list. Hello, how are you? Rashida03. Flores Fuentes, I appreciate you being here. My family's last name on my mother's side was Flores, at least a couple of them. All right, so I have that running. I'm in the echo environment, and now I am going to begin to move on to the next step. I am doing good. Just raising kids, single father, trying to build something that can sustain my family in the future. Right now, you're just going to see this microphone because I've got to go check on that 4-year-old. I will be right back. Hey, Caden, buddy. He's got to go to sleep, my man. Holy crap, 5 of you stuck around. 3. Okay, that's good. All right, so let's create this test document. So I've got my Activate Bat working. So this is my environment actually functioning now. All right. And I've only got one person left in here, which I understand. Create underscore tests dot py. Create tests dot py. And take this code and drop it in. If you are interested, just say the word and I'll flip this thing around and you can actually see the code instead of me just talking into a mic. All right. So now I have documents to test against legal, medical, engineering, insurance, and general. And those are all the clients that types of clients I'm serving. The reason for those particular types of clients is because I come from engineering, so the initial tools and the idea came from that. And then I have a client that is building a medical malpractice case based on a whistleblower, and all of that data is extremely sensitive, so is engineering data. And then my other potential client is within the insurance industry, so that's why I've got medical, legal, engineering, insurance, and general are the clients that I'm serving here. So I've got all of those created. And let me see. Yes, I do have all of those text documents in my directory. All right, let me copy this over so I can move on to the next step. And that's the 3-year-old again. All right. So now I'm going to test echo detect. Run the command. Okay, here we go. All right, it took 0.4 seconds for it to detect this and give me all the confidence scores. Excellent. Here we go. Perfect. So my document detection pipeline works. That was fast too. All right. So now let me do medical. Engineering. Insurance. And a general document as well. Hello, hello. One person who is here. I appreciate you being here. Let me know if you can hear me okay with this microphone. I'm still not like 100% sure about it, but this is what we got, so that's what we're doing. All right, so now let me go ahead and drop all of this in here. Which one is this? Medical. Legal. So I don't need that one actually. Okay. that seems right. This is Michael. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate you. I'm actually building a suite of software with a local first artificial intelligence model that serves different industries for different things, focused on medical, insurance, engineering, legal, and general. All right. So now I'm leaving. You're just going to see a mic and some stuff in the background. All right, I'm on East Coast time, so the fact that he is still awake at 11 o'clock is upsetting. But he's been staying with his mother for the last couple of days, so I'm not even going to get into that. Now I'm going to build my parsing CLI. So this is a set of CLIs that are put into a pipeline to do these different things. Let's go. All right. And this is my parsing portion. I'm concerned about it wanting to do DWGs because I don't think that's going to work unless it's in the, based on my experience with vector databases and the way that you go through those types of files, it needs to be a DWT or a DXF or some other file type, but DWG itself doesn't work, but it does have the code base from my working system. So I'm interested to see how this turns out. Mamba, what's up? I like the name. 2 people here. Welcome. Enjoy. I'm going to grab a water because I love just leaving y'all looking at my green mic. Oh, hello, hello. There we go. Clear out my pockets. Get a little more comfortable because I have a feeling I might be here for a while. So I'm going to save this component and I'm going to go ahead and delete that file because I already got my test going. So in components, I'm going to make a new file, and this one's going to be echo parse.py. And now I've got my code for it here. I'm using VS Code and Python. That particular artifact was 625 lines of code. Let me go ahead and save that. And go ahead and run this. And now yep. All right. Looks like it worked. This is exciting. It actually worked. Hello, one person who is here. Thank you for being here. Continue watching if you could. So what that did with this particular code is document parsing. So it cleans text. It also structures the detection and found 3 headers, 4 number lists, different items like that. There's also a content analysis where you've got proper line counting, readability metrics. I've got a chunking system in there, so it's ready for large documents, 1 chunk for a small document. And then I've got a processing speed, which is super fast, 0.027 seconds. The pipeline integration is ready for the next step with recommendations, and the file integrity, hash for audit trails, all that looks good. Notice that entity section is empty because you didn't use the entities flag. All right. Test entity extraction. So let me go ahead and do that. Alrighty. This seems to be working. Hello. Say hi. Ask me anything. I am an open book. If you want to know about what it's like to lose everything and rebuild, I can tell you about that. If you want to know about what it's like to have every single thing that you thought you could have wanted, and what life actually looks like when you have all those things, I could talk about that. I've experienced both ends of the spectrum there. So this is working, but as is often the case, I have hit my limit. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. I really appreciate you subscribing. So I hit my limit, which means I have a 1 hour pause until I can continue working unless I pay for Max. So I've got my foundational components that are working perfectly right now, and it's extracting dates successfully. We're also going to build out Echo Timeline, which creates a chronological analysis from the extracted dates and content. It'll get us a complete mini pipeline. So we'll get detect, parse, timeline, report. So that is kind of the next phase of what's going on here. Hey, thanks, Jim. I appreciate that. I'm sorry. But as you know, if you already went through it, there is light on the other side. And if you have faith in Jesus Christ like I do, then you know that he will lift you up from the ashes, as one of my coworkers told me earlier. And I've always got my little happy hippie Jesus on the desk with me as I am doing this stuff. I've also got a 6-year-old daughter, 4-year-old son, and a 1-year-old son. But I do have a little token for my daughter here. She is quarter Asian, so that's kind of her. Her mother is half Filipino. And then these ones remind me of my sons. Hanging tin and a knife. I'm going to say that this one is my middle child, and this one is my youngest. He seems like he's going to be trouble, and Caden's just crazy and would do stuff like that. Hey, Simon, I appreciate that. And just so you know, if you haven't been on here the whole time, I have hit my Claude limit with the little bit that I've done. But I have 2 tools, which are the foundation, that are working completely flawlessly right now, which is very exciting. So right now, the data pipeline that's working is I've got a document. And first, I built my environment, my virtual environment, and a bat file to activate that environment. And then I created a Python script that would generate test documents so that I can run the tests on everything that I'm building. And then I started building Echo Detect, and then what that does is finds what industry this is serving so that it can be channeled into the correct pipeline. And then a document parsing tool which structures the data and the entities within the documents that are being input into the system. The next thing is the timeline for reporting so that it can craft a narrative based on dates, which is just useful whenever you are trying to do analysis of large sets of data, is to have that as a standalone CLI so that it continues to run extremely efficiently and doesn't have to look for that information to do actual processing. Right now, my processing speed is like lightning fast, which is really good. Right now, the pipeline is running at 0.029 seconds to run, which is awesome. It's also like extracted the entities, which are dates found in 2 different formats. The document that I used was a medical document to test against, and it's just a made-up one that my Python script made. And it detected 8 different headers and 5 different list items, which I can actually see here. And then smart recognition at here we go. Smart recommendations, add echo chronology.py because dates were found. Yes, added that. And then medical record parsing, properly identified patient, date of birth, MRN, assessment sections. And then with all that, the processing speed was still like super fast. So that's exciting. But I've got 54 minutes before I can continue working on that, which is frustrating. Somebody's here, but I'm about to drop off. Say hi. Check out my other videos, my other live streams. And if you're my cousin Simon, there you go. The next Claude tier, I would have to subscribe to Max, and I think that's $200 a month for the next Claude tier. And I'd rather move over to Gemini than do that, but I've already put all the effort into loading a Claude project with 3 different programs I've developed. One for the engineering, one for the insurance, and one for Antina. And pulled all that code base in, so I'm not starting from scratch with this. It's already taken proven systems. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I went from ChatGPT, and I was just doing everything with that, and I never ran up against limits like this. But now that I'm doing a bit more heavy lifting and more like true data science specific development, then Claude seems to be the way to go. But I have to continue to bootstrap and work within the frameworks that I have available, which means I've got to be patient. And I guess that's fine. Interesting, though. It's working. I mean, that's important. And this is cool. Let's see what's in tests. I don't have anything in tests right now, which is interesting. Maybe it's not actually generating anything yet, but just delivering to command line. That would make sense. It is not. This is a rather inexpensive. What is it? I may have painted over it. Oh, what are you? Does Samson sound right? I don't know. It's like the least expensive functional mic that I've found that I can actually use the correct like audio output, and I can go to like anything. Like right now it's plugged into my phone, so that works. Hey, you're supposed to know about mics. Actually, I guess you don't know about mics. That would make sense. I want to hear your voice on one of your singles. And I gave you that sweet updated version. Yeah, all virtual. Like everything else. Everything is internet. I made myself giggle with that one. Mm. Flavor of the day on the Pulse X. No problemo. Did you return it? I think I sent you all the stuff to return it. And it's interesting having a conversation with you in a public forum with me on a mic and you through the comment section. I appreciate the engagement. Okay, good deal. And oh, I wish I knew this. My mom just texted me and asked what shoe and clothes size the boys wear. And off the top of my head, I don't know. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Some people like watching this stuff. Right now, it's just you and somebody else. Hey, somebody else, say hi. Or you can just watch us. That's fine, too. What am I going to do for another 48 minutes? Oh, yeah. The flavor of the day. Banana taffy freeze. And it's actually good. It is good. I need to quit. But I quit other things, and that's fine. Quit drinking. Count it. Need to cut back on this just for vascular health because I don't need anything restricting my arteries, if you know what I mean. Peach jam. Yeah, everyone does. And if big tobacco has their way, I think they will continue to outlaw these. I don't think these are legal anymore. They actually don't sell them in North Carolina anymore. So I have to cross state lines and then bootleg my nicotine vapes back across state lines. It's actually not just us. I realized that my little brother Jacob was like, "Oh, no way," and then brought out his vape rig, which he's got one of those that has like an extra battery on it and this giant like reservoir for the vape liquid and all this crazy shit. Yeah, that makes total sense to me about Oakland. And that's free market right there, right? Give the people what they want. We have agency over ourselves, right? Should. Some do, some don't. Yeah, it's nuts. No agency. And that's because you're a freelancer. Speaking of, did you see the suggested resume that I sent you via uh, Instagram? If not, check it out. Oh. It sounds like the oldest son has fallen asleep. That is the sound of me knocking on wood. All right, here, I've got a test for you, cousin. Whenever we talk on phones like FaceTime, we'll generally look too many folks sliding in your DMs. Uh, my ex-wife blocked me on Instagram, which was frustrating because uh, that's like the way I keep track of the kids. So I've got to find out a solution there. But, that's fine. That's a boundary. I'm not going to cross it. I will respect it because that is the type of growth. See, there we go. All right, I'll find a way to send you memes. What is the test? Give me the test. What test? Oh, the test. God, thank you. It's late. Here's the test. We're on our phones right now. I'm looking myself in the eye as I would if I were FaceTiming someone and looking them in the eye. But for live streams, I'm not sure if I should look at the green dot, if it makes more sense and is more engaging if I look at the green dot versus looking at myself in the eyes. Hello, Bellala. I like the name. All right, likes and hearts, likes and hearts. Press the buttons. Appreciate that. So that was a test. Hey, happy birthday. Happy birthday. I won't ask your age because it does not matter. But I hope you had a fantastic one. Looking at yourself works. Okay, good. That's kind of what I was hoping. Hey, real life engagement in the chat. This is a beautiful thing to see. I appreciate that. And it's doing it on time. Now I only have 43 minutes to wait. Oh, goodness. Keep pressing all the buttons. Yeah. I don't know what it does for the algorithm or me. I have an extremely small audience. I'm not sure the exact reset times. It depends on time of day. Hello, Bellala. I've frequently gotten 7 p.m. resets, but that's based on doing work after work. And I have not gotten this midnight reset before. So I'm not sure exactly how that is structured or how it works. Because I believe it is token based. And then I believe that once it reaches that limit, it'll just reset you for an hour. but I may be completely wrong. It just wants me to spend $200 a month, and I can't afford that. That's why I'm building this. Well, I got you here. Right. All right, so this is where I'm at. This is all of the kids' art for the last year, which is pretty cool. That dog came with the house, so we put it up on the wall. I don't know where it was. And we say that it's Kelso's granddad, right? And then this is the work setup right now, which is working for me. And then I'll just switch laptops depending on if I'm working on personal work or my actual day job work if I'm working from home. Thank you. I'm a firm believer in shaping your environment to shape your outcomes. So I put a lot of intent behind my environment. And I like Costco because I got these giant curved monitors from there for pretty cheap. I have not, but here we go. This is the fun part. I'll take screenshots of suggestions like that and then go and look them up later. I'm going to fix my tripod. Boom, son. All higher up now. Actually, I can have slightly better posture, which is good. Multiple processes can run at once. Ah, cool. I like it. Is it like a open source plugin, or how's it set up? Because right now I'm using. So I'll get real metaphysical with you on the way that I think about coding. And I think I told you this, but because there's like a 50% chance that we're in a simulation, I figured that coding in the simulation would be similar to coding in what we experience. Cool. I'm going to do that then. Thank you, Simon. So to assist with running multiple processes, I've developed a unique set of code that looks at time as if it were in a simulation. So instead of it being one continuous stream, it chunks it into sections of time and then will run processes based on availability depending on those incremental moments, which I think is kind of neat. I don't know how useful it is, and this tool seems like it would work better. I'm just throwing a bunch of stuff against the wall and see if I can come up with anything novel so that I can continue to build a stack of IP defensible products. Thank you. I work at an engineering firm. It's just a different type of engineering. But yes, I agree. I'm working in a bubble that works for me right now because it does. But if I can brainstorm with people that know more than me, which is almost everyone, then I think I'd be better off for it. I actually have a couple of friends, but they're back in Denver, Yes, we are all nerds. Um, but one of my original ideas that some of this stems from, I was developing an app and got meetings with angel investors and everything. So there was potential for it. And it was an AI agent that pulled data from your CRM so that you could run analysis and everything based on that. But it was specifically for Salesforce because Salesforce had um, tried their AI side of things, and they may have resolved it by now, but there was not a solution out there that could do that. Um, so it ended up not going anywhere because I didn't get actual clients. This one's working because it's right. This one's working because it's like tested against the real world. So I think this one's going to be better off. And like based on all my analysis, this is like a $50 million product, which is exciting if it works. And it's been tested in real life in a large engineering firm, at least portions of it, or the idea behind portions of it, not the actual code that as it stands now. That one's kind of isolated in history, but as a functioning product, this is much more robust. And then it's working for the medical documentation for the lawsuit side of things. And then based on the conversation today, it's going to work for the insurance industry as well. And I've proven that through processing some of their documentation. So I think this one's going to be interesting because nobody else has made anything like this yet. Or maybe they are, maybe they're doing it in parallel, but it's not out there in the public domain. Neither is this, but again, according to my research, I am defining a new space, which is surprising if that's true. Even if it's not true, it means that what I'm building is unique enough to have legs. So that's cool. Unique enough to have legs. Like frogs, not like snakes. Yeah, that's right. I'm, obviously tempering expectations because life has thrown a shitstorm at me. So I have to temper expectations to continue making progress every day. But I've got a different feeling about this one, and I feel like I have the experience, the connections, and the tools that I need to make this successful in a way that my passion projects in the past, um, which I've been able to carry forward like really, really far, but they didn't fit the moment like this one seems to. Even our sustainable rock climbing gear felt like it was just a little bit early. It was like prior to rock climbing going into the Olympics, and we were green before everyone started greenwashing everything. So we were positioned well, but we were completely bootstrapped. As you know, you got a bag, right? Um, but that was a passion project, and we could carry it that far just through passion. But again, this one seems like it's the right tool at the right moment, and I've got the experience to build it. So that's why I am. Plus, I'll go deeper into the why. Um, I was talking about Bitcoin and hedging my bets against the existing fiat currency, and in wanting to be able to be prepared to provide for my family no matter what local, global, economic disruptions may occur. I want to have a foundation that I've built that I can generate revenue from, that even during those disruptions, there will be a large enough marketplace to want to acquire this. And so that's why I'm building this. It's purely self-serving, not self-serving, I suppose. It's self-serving because I want to, continue to care for my progeny, right? That's the biggest self-serving thing there is making sure that your DNA continues to propagate throughout the world. So self-serving. But it's bigger than that based on where my life is right now. So if this works and it's as successful as I think it's going to be, one, I'm staying in Charlotte. I think I'm landing on staying in Charlotte instead of moving to Charleston, because I don't want to add any additional disruptions or chaos into my life. And this is where my work is, and this is where, thank you, this is where I have some type of community and foundation, and that's already been disrupted by moving from Colorado to North Carolina. And because my ex-wife chose to move to Charleston, I have agency over where I live, and I believe I can provide more stability for my children at this moment, even if it's from a distance, by maintaining this home, by maintaining my career and work, and by not increasing the cost of living, which would be around 20% by moving to Charleston. And then I would be in a city of my ex's choosing. Again, it's odd boundaries and all of this that I'm trying to juggle. But at the moment, I think I want to stay here and provide that stability as I continue to build all this stuff out. But if this works, what I was trying to say is I can stay here and then get a second location in Charleston, so that it's easier, or there's less friction on the back and forth. It's only 3 hours away, so that would make sense. These are just all the idealistic thoughts running through my mind. I don't have anybody paying me for this stuff yet, so who knows? But I will. It works. So I will. Just got to keep doing it. It heals all things. I've heard. I'd agree. Plus, I'm unbothered. See ya. Love you, cousin. Thanks for being here. I'm probably going to turn this off and just chill for 30 minutes and then come back and keep working. All right. Peace out. Thanks for being here. Hey, other folks besides Simon, like, subscribe, check out the other videos on my channel. Love you too, man. I've got a lot of good stuff about the importance of community, dealing with rejection. If you go back even further, you'll see some of my engineering tutorials. Those are my most popular videos with thousands of views from mostly folks in South Asia, and some really good comments and back and forth there. So check that out. But I appreciate you being here, and I'll talk to you later. Enjoy that movie. And if you're still here, Simon, I did get the Dropbox link, and that movie does work on my phone. So thank you. I hope that's the one you're watching. I'll watch it too. We can discuss later. All right. Peace out.